49ers fans. Do you really trust the 49ers? Because the way I've been feeling, I have to really take whatever they say with a grain of salt because I just really don't trust it. So let's go down some timelines on things that I've kind of felt were like kind of skeptical and stuff. And you guys leave comments, tell me if you feel the same or if you think I'm way crazy out of line. But let's go. Um, the whole Brandon Aiyuk saga, I feel like, Brandon Aiyuk has just been very unapologetically like open, showing his stupidity and everything, obviously. But I kind of feel like the 49ers have been unusually quiet and they're very mum. And it's almost like, why can't you just come out and say, hey, this guy's acting obnoxious. He's taking personal shots, and we've wiped our hands of this guy. It always seems like there's some kind of smoke screen that we don't like really get the brunt of how they're really feeling. And yes, I know you gotta hold stuff close to the vest sometimes, but like I want to know, are you guys done? Should we like not like get excited of a possible BA return? And this is way before all the extra stuff BA was doing. Um, so it's just kind of like, what are you guys doing? Um, just like we're the fans, and we want to know what's going on with our team, like good or bad. So like overall, what I just don't get is what I'm seeing is just a reluctancy to like be real about stuff. And, as the 49er faithful, 49er fan base, that's all we want. Just keep it real with us. Like another example is, you know, when CMC had his injury, I always felt like that was a little weird. And I'm not saying like I just felt like that. I know the regular football fan, the regular 49er fan felt like this. When CMC, we've been hearing stuff about him going into the 2024 season, and um, maybe he has a slight ailment or he might have calf tightness or something. And all of a sudden, it lingers all the way to week one, and all of a sudden, right before game time, and I drafted CMC in fantasy, so I'm bitter. But all of a sudden, he's not playing, and he pretty much didn't play, the majority of the year. And we were kind of screwed. And it's like, what do you do? I mean, thankfully, we had Jordan Mason, who was a dog, and I'm kind of still upset that we let him go, but I understand it. But, like, I'm pretty sure that the 49ers had the whole diagnosis up front. And I know if they're like not giving it away as far as from Kyle Shanahan's like game plan perception, like, well, we're not going to tell him that CMC is injured or the severity because then they don't have to game plan for CMC, and that could actually be an advantage for us. Like, I get that, but otherwise than that, if that's not something that you're thinking about, then just tell the fans the truth. Tell the media the truth, because it just kind of looks like shady, like what you guys are doing, and even like back to that BA stuff. It's like it looks weird too when you're not telling the truth that you give certain players um preferential treatment. Like you're mad at BA, but you let Bosa do exactly what BA is doing by getting his rehab somewhere else off site of the 49ers facility. So, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. And going back to the CMC stuff, like I've never been more shocked of an injury than I was like waiting for Monday Night Football. I was like, oh man, uh, you know, we're about to play, Aaron Rodgers, week one, Monday Night Football, and then all of a sudden, oh, CMC is out, and it's more serious than we thought. It's like, get out of here, man. Some stuff like that, I just don't believe. It just sounds like you're trying to get us to move along, so we forget about it. But you guys are really knowing the diagnosis and the truth the whole time. So I mean that's just how I feel about that, especially about the CMC injury. Um, and then not to like get too deep into it because I've done a couple videos about the Kyle crash, but that's another thing that got me questioning the trustworthiness of the 49ers because why like to me everything is not out, okay? And you got to wonder what they're hiding. And they're hiding something. I think the whole let's paint Kyle as a good responsible guy uh, I think it's kind of a smokescreen. And if it's not, it's not. But the way that you're leading this on is weird. First, the delay of the crash. Okay. Or the delay of the crash is like breaking news, like from it coming out was like that's the biggest curiosity thing for me. Like, why did you take that long? Why is every other player vulnerable to getting news, negative news, just blown out, immediately breaking, but you somehow don't have that. I just thought that was weird. That's just my main thing. And yeah, like these these Captain Savas for Kyle Shanahan be like just like shooting shots at me and shit. It's just like, man, you guys are weird. But um I'm just curious about that. Um and and then more as time went, it was like insiders like found the police reports and seen that there was a 21-year-old woman in a Mercedes involved, and they were like, okay, so what does this mean now? Who was at fault? They're questioning it, and then the PR team and Kyle called all those insiders to the facility to tell them the actual truth, and it's like it just kind of feels like you're trying to save base here, and it looks like it too. Come on, okay. First, there's a delay. Now people are finding out what happened, and now you're kind of, um, I guess you want to call it covering up. Um, that's what it looks like to me. And then you finally talk to the media, and after we think you're taking responsibility, and maybe you're getting a little bit of the trust back, all of a sudden you want to say, "Oh, it was the Tesla auto drive," which has got to be the stupidest thing you could ever say, because now if like Elon Musk sniffs this out, dude, he's gonna file a lawsuit against the 49ers for defamation. So, and I mean, I would do it because you're riding in a Tesla. It's your choice to put on the auto drive. So, and the way he described, like, I'm gonna get off this, but I don't trust what they're spewing at us. But another thing is like, you put it on auto drive and you completely turn around and grab your phone that I guess somehow you threw it in the back seat. That's weird. Maybe he threw it at a mistress, or maybe he was, and he was just like going, yeah, just threw it. Who knows, man? But the fact that this wasn't disclosed really early is the thing that could make me think all those other things. So it's just another case of do we really trust the 49ers and what they say? I've been losing faith. I love my 49ers, but as far as what they say, it's kind of losing faith. And okay, how about every player this year has tightness or something and they're resting them, which I get it if you're being cautious. I mean, god damn, with the way our injuries have been, I would expect you to do nothing else. But when your players start lingering a couple more practices they're off, and like let's just go to Nick Bosa. Like this guy started training camp looking ripped as shit, like going through all the drills, and that was for me in my head. I was like, man, they forget that we got Bosa and he could really be a pillar for us this year. Even though I don't think he could break through the way he used to be able to. um, but you had Deshaun Stribling go out with hamstring tightness. He already came back. You had Mike Evans go out with a quad strain. He's already back. But then Bosa's still not back. And then they finally go, hey, we're not worried about it, but he has, it's either ACL or Achilles tendonitis. To me, and I gotta talk to Dr. Haro about this, but to me, if you got ACL tendonitis, that means that you're injured, Achilles or ACL is fatigued on the work that you're already putting on it, and is kind of looking detrimental to the season already. And you don't want to put that narrative out there. And I think it's all a part of like the game plan strategy with Kyle, most likely. But I, why not just say that? Like Bosa has been injured like 3 times, severe injuries with the Niners, and we know that he's at risk. So, as much as you don't want to give that news, give it so you look trustworthy and you're trusted, because everything that's coming out of their mouths, and this goes for John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, just kind of seems like BS or a recycled piece of the truth. I hate it. Um, yeah, and just everybody this year, it's kind of seemed has had precaution written around them. Well, everybody got tightness, and I think even most recently, I think CMC it finally got around to him, and he got tightness, and uh, that's still in the preliminary. So maybe it's just it's just precaution, which I'm hoping, but trusting them is not like something that I feel like I'm totally 100% okay with doing right now. It's just weird. And these things I've mentioned, which I'm not done, are just they're starting to pile up, and I don't get what we're doing here. And as far as the things that I took down in notes, this is gonna be like the last piece of it. But let's not forget about Ricky Pearsall, his PCL injury, and he just came out of surgery, so good PCL injury. Hopefully, he's back on the field between 9 to 12 months. Um, Hopefully, to start the 2027 season. Um, and I was so confused. I was hating on Ricky. I was like, man, you're out there vacationing, like trying to work out. You got the sleeve on your knee. I know you ain't good. Why didn't you just take why didn't you just take the surgery right when the season ended, or as of the last game that you played? Like, why not? And what it turns out to be, it was the 49er staff, the training staff, the coaches. They wanted him to hold off. And he made it through maybe 2 days of training camp, and swelling started. And now he's out for the year. And I put that on the 49ers brass. They got to have their eyes way more wide open on stuff like this. And they try to put their mumbo jumbo spiel on it and stuff. But it's like, guys, it just looks like you're lying. Like, you think Ricky Pearsall wouldn't have just had the surgery because he's itching to get back on the field? I guarantee that's the way he is. And you've seen him putting in work. Like, he just wants to be on the field. And you guys screwed him up. You guys screwed him up. You guys, wanted to save face or something and didn't let him get the surgery. Um, it's just kind of hard to think about. I mean, I don't know who I really trust, with them. But okay, let's see.